out of them.
Just one.
AZAM is back.
I, Jerry L. Williams,
I, Jerry L. Williams,
do solemnly swear.
do solemnly swear. It's kind of like a homecoming. So some people say that you can't ever come back home. I think I'm the perfect example of, yes, you can come back home and work to make your community a safer place.
States of America.
So you may have seen this last Friday when new Phoenix Police Chief Jerry Williams was sworn in as the new Chief of Police, the first woman ever to hold this position.
And Williams was formerly the police chief in Oxnard, California, and before that spent more than 20 years with the Phoenix Police Department. And she takes over the department at a very challenging time for officers all over our country.
And she chose AZAM to give an interview here as Chief. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, Chief Williams. Unfortunately, I'm going to start with something that's not so uplifting, but what happened in Iowa where we had a couple of officers in their patrol cars targeted? I mean, this is a tough time to be a police officer in our country.
Absolutely. So it's a challenging time, and I'll say this, our hearts and prayers go out to the officers and the department and the community, to be honest, in Des Moines, Iowa. So this is definitely a time when we need to come together as a community and recognize that it's not police and community or that dynamic of us versus them. It's really a time for us to come together. So a challenging time for officer safety, challenging time for law enforcement. But I do want to redirect a little bit. It's a great opportunity for us to make those connections in the community.
How do you do that?
So we do that, and Phoenix PD has been amazing at doing that by just reaching out one person at a time, one group at a time, one business at a time. Also affording opportunities like this to have a frank discussion about what we're doing in law enforcement and how we can come together. And people may say that it's more than just conversations. It is. You have to feel just and trust and believe that what we do is exactly what we should be doing, and we're working on building that trust, one community, one member, one contact at a time.
It seems like we got into the concept of community policing back, a decade or so ago. Is that something you believe in? Do you believe you should have officers out walking beats and interacting with the community and talking to people?
So absolutely believe that officers should get out of their cars. And walking beats, that was definitely way back in the day. That was pre me having kids. I think. Hi, Alan and Cody out there.
There you
go. Not to make light of that at all, but officers are getting out of their cars. They are engaging. They are interacting. As a police department, we've done an amazing job at that, and we just need to keep moving forward in that concept. But again, it goes back to that community trust and building that trust with everything that we do all the time, every time. And what happens with us, we go on hundreds of thousands of calls for service, you all, and we get it right often. We get it right most times. We just need to start sharing that information with people, and I think we can do a better job at that.
And we always say when we have those stories, these great interactions that police officers have with the community, and we get to share those stories, that is, really what makes our job of sharing. So it's not so much doom and gloom, because really right now at this point in time, I would be really scared to be a police officer. And how do you sort of ease the anxiety, especially those that maybe are looking to make that a career for them?
So we look to ease the anxiety by providing the officers with the tools that they need to do their jobs. We do that by making sure when incidents in Des Moines, Iowa happen, that we reassure our officers. Right now we're running two-person units in a lot of the city just to kind of ease that comfort level of officers, because quite frankly, there are people out there, obviously, who want to hurt and harm not just police officers, but also our community members. So making sure we create those dynamics where the officers feel safe will always be the top priority. Troy, you asked a little bit about community-based policing. That's the only way that we can resolve the issues in our community. We can't arrest our way out of the problem. We have to have community engagement and support in order to be able to make sure you all and the community feel safe.
First woman police chief. I've noticed when I've been out in the field that women and men have a different style when it comes to policing. So here you are as the chief now. How's it going to change with a woman in charge?
So leadership is what I want to start off by saying, and I just happen to be a female. That's how I look at it. So I'm definitely more inclusive in decision making. It'll be a lot of consensus-based decision making, with the caveat that there is some times where I'm just going to have to make the tough call because I am the boss and am the chief. So I look forward to engaging all levels of the dynamics in my agency, from the commanders to the lieutenants to the sergeants to the officers. There are some great ideas out there internally about how we can do what we do as far as law enforcement goes. goes. And at the same time, I want to engage the community as well. I want to talk to grade school kids. I want to talk to high school kids, college kids, to see perhaps is there some different service delivery options that we can afford and offer to the community while keeping the community safe.
Wow. Okay, I know we have to wrap, but how does it feel to be back home?
Oh, I'm excited. I am excited.
With your kids and your family here.
I'm so proud of my family. I'm so proud of this great police department, and I never want us to lose sight of the fact that we are a great police department, but we're also one component of the city of Phoenix, and the city is amazing. And I'm just so looking forward to being a part of this community, making the police department better, greater, one person at a time, one officer, one contact.
Well, good luck to you. We are behind you 100% in that endeavor. Great meeting you this morning.
Thank you.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you, Chief, for being here.
Thank you.
And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
Okay. Corey is out and about for us, running around. Corey, what are you doing, bud?
Back to school, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I found out, apparently, Sunny Slope School, not the Eagles, or not the Hammer.